crafting time.
Here's the shout out to a few of the people who support this channel on Patreon. Ann, Tammy, Kathleen, Cheryl, Sherry, Dee, Tina, Deborah, Linda, Crystal, Brenda, Mel, Rhonda, Charlotte, Lizzie, Ann, Trish, Beth Ann, Jane, Bonita, Melissa, Jody, Bobby, Donna, Althea, Shannon, Emma, Linda, Mouse Baby, Virginia, Marie, Nina, Yvette, Cynthia, George, Dee, Karen, Tammy, Barbie, and Monica. A huge thank you to my co-sponsors. You guys are awesome. Good morning. I just want to ask everyone to bear with me. My son made this card for Thursday Night Live because I wasn't up to it. For those of you that don't know, I hurt my back from sewing. That's what the doctor said. Woke up with a bad back, and we think it's from sitting and sewing and using the pedal, because I sit way too long, and using the pedal and stuff and being frustrated with my sewing machine, it hurt my back. So I'm drugged on muscle relaxer today. Good morning. It's going to be a fun one, and we have a big giveaway. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and in my Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. So thanks, everyone. I see you. You do have to be in the chat and be able to see the chat to enter the giveaway, which we will be doing a little bit later. Let me switch over here. So this is the last week. I've been giving these away every Saturday in April. You may win, if you live in the United States or Canada, the mini Easy Press, the smallest Easy Press mat, the weeding tools, and some mini everyday iron-on. I do giveaways every month. Sometimes they're one big giveaway for $500. I almost said 500,000. Wow. For value up to $500. Or sometimes I break them up like I did this time, so more people have a chance. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, click that bell, and follow me on Instagram at MelodyLane815 and Facebook also to get the best chance to see my videos or my giveaways. Sometimes they're on Instagram. Okay, so today somebody had emailed me. Let me show you this picture. Let me see if I make this bigger. Somebody emailed me this card and asked if we could do this. Wow, chat's going crazy today. That wasn't the right button. So they emailed this to me and said, do you have a video on how to do this? And I think I was drugged when I said, no, but I'll do it on Saturday while I'm drugged on muscle relaxer. But I'm gonna, after this video, I'm gonna really try not to take any more, because I think I've been taking too many, because I'm afraid that last pain was so bad. Thank you, Adeline, for becoming a member, and thank you, Dawn, for subscribing. So I said, I can do that. I can show you how. So last night I tried it for the first time, and I did. It's not perfect yet. When doing projects like this, you do have to do a test cut to see if your thing is right. I always do a test cut before I share my projects. So I made this. I just cut it out this morning really quick. And then I realized, look, I can even bend it depending on what type of paper on the outside. I can bend it back, you know. Yeah. Welcome, Trinice. So this is just the one layer. I'm going to show you how to do the layers, and I'm going to show you how to do everything. So if you are, if you're a beginner, please watch this video. I may be going too fast for a very beginner, because, but But everything I'm going to show you today, like the welding and all that and the text, I've shown in not every video, I've shown many times in other videos in my Design Space classes. You cannot read the title of the video to know what you're going to learn because you learn so much. Am I wrong? Raise your hand if you learn in all my videos. Sometimes I learn too from you guys. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's go to Design Space. Okay, I have two Design Spaces. And I'm going to move this down here. Click on this one. Will this work to change last year's graduation card to 2020? I changed a couple of the graduation cards to 2020 already. But actually, that is a good idea. We could just make this a graduation card if you want and do 2020. Let's do that because I didn't know what name I was going to use today. So this is the one that I was playing with last night. I do think I want to would weld this to the second layer of, because there's two layers. To the second layer, that yellow layer. So then it will go on much easier. And you wouldn't have to do this brown layer if you didn't want to. It's just completely optional. Okay, so now we're going to create one. I'll do 2020. All right, you guys are learning so much. Okay, so I'm just going to go to a new project here. Now to start out making this card, I want it to be an A2 size card. Now you can make it any size card you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a square, and I'm going to make this square the total size that I want it to be. Oh, and I am on version 5.7.24. There is another version of DS that has been released. It will take 5 days from yesterday before everybody receives it. It's not a big update. There's changes to the pause and changes to, there's bug fixes and changes to the pause, and will help you find access easier if you don't have it. Okay, so I'm going to make this 5.5. I'm just going to do it up here. Is that locked? Unlocked. The width, 5.5. And the height, 4.25. And that is a regular size A2 card. Let's just make this blue. Okay, so this is our template. I'm going to actually duplicate it instead of going and picking out a square and sizing it and everything. We're going to leave this for now. We're going to go to text. Pause, P-A-U-S-E. Now, when doing this, you need to capitalize your letters because it won't work as well if you have small letters, like a small A but capital. You can't just have one capital letter. It really would be wonky. So you do need to make them capitals. Today I'm using 2020, so it could be used for a graduation card. And we're going to go to a font. I think the font that I used was Basecamp. I do want a font with, you know what? I think I want to do Varsity. But I want to show you here, you can click in the filter multi-layer. So then that way it has an offset piece. And I really want that offset piece. Welcome, Donna. And since we're doing this for graduation, I just typed in VAR to bring up the varsity. I think I'm going to do this one Just varsity. Now I see it has layer over here and that one. Now I'm thinking. Yeah, I guess that will work. That'll work. Okay. So now we have to make these. Now, how big do we want the letters? I want the letters to go across the top. Now this is something you have to do and decide what you want. I'm going to unlock this because I don't want it to go too tall. That makes sense. So I unlocked it to change the perspective. And what size is this? 1.48. You know what? I'm going to make this 1.5 to make it easier. So it's 1.5. You know what? I'm going to move this over to our template. And if you have questions, hold them for a minute, unless somebody else can answer them. Okay, so I need the height to be 5.5. Now, last night I used absolutely no math in this process, but you could. That would make this. Oh, it's 4 1/4 total. I'm going to make this 2.75. And the width has to be the same, the 5.5. And I'm going to make this a different color. So the yellow is our template. The yellow that's all the yellow is our template. And that looks like that's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I need 2 of these pieces. So I'm just going to duplicate that. So we have one for each one. I am going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate it again. So I have 3 of these, and I'm going to hide one. I'm also going to duplicate this and hide it. The reason I'm doing that is in case I mess up, I have those correct sizes of pieces that I need. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I'm going to advance. Because I did not ungroup any of this, I can still change the font or change the words or whatever. So I'm going to go to advance and I am going to ungroup to layers. That way I can just move the top layer and still have this layer available. And what size is this? We cannot change the size of this now unless we put all these back together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them both and I'm going to align center horizontally. So it'll put it right in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is weld. And it didn't work because I can see a line here. So that number was not close enough to this to weld to it. So the way to fix that is we have to unweld. Last night this took no time at all. But when you're streaming everywhere, the numbers I'm putting on there right now are not hollow. This top layer would be. Okay, now I think we have a problem. I should have saved that. There we go. Oh, now it won't let me unweld because I saved it. Okay, so this is why, although I still have these, this is why we take extra precautions. I'm going to save it now. And we're going to advance. Ungroup to layers. So I'm repeating myself now because that didn't work. I'm going to select them both, center horizontally, and I'm going to zoom in. I can see now that there is a line there. But we're going to zoom in so we make sure there's no space between this. You can overlap just a teeny bit. Okay? Does that look right? I think so. Now let's weld. Oh, I didn't select it all. Weld. There we go. That's what we want. We'll zoom back out. So now we have this. I'm going to bring this to the front. Let's make it red so we can see it better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this. I'm going to duplicate. I can't speak today. Remember, if you're just joining, I'm drugged on muscle relaxer. How do you zoom in? The bottom left corner. Down here. I'm going to zoom out because I need more space. I'm going to move this over, and I don't think I need that either because I just duplicated this. But I need to ungroup this one. So I'm just going to go up here. If I have something selected that's already grouped, the group button will automatically say ungroup. Because I want to take this off, I think. Maybe I don't. I don't need this one. For the back, I would not put the second layer on, so I don't need that. And we are going to flip this vertically. And we're going to put it on top of that one. Okay, I have to ungroup this because we're going to be welding these. Now I got to select them both, align, center horizontally. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to take questions, okay? Now I'm going to zoom in. It looks like the zeros are not touching like the twos are. They're not quite as big. What I can do is I can add a little square there. I can just duplicate the square and make it smaller. But I'm going to show you something else also. So I could weld this little piece in here and in here and it would be fine. But let me duplicate this. I want to show you something. I'll probably end up doing that. So what I'm going to do is this is another way to make sure all of these are the same size. They look it, but I'm not sure they are. So we're going to go to advanced. And advanced, and these will only be up if you have a text selected that has not been changed. So as long as you didn't ungroup it or anything. We're going to click ungroup to letters. That means each letter is together. And this one's 1.5, but this one is 1.487. So we need to unlock it and change it to 1.5. And this is probably going to be the same. We're going to change that to 1.5. Now they're all the same. We could align top or bottom, and they'll be perfect across instead of like these. I'm going to do it again. Whoops. Undo. Okay, we're going to make the card again. And the reason I'm doing it again is because you will learn more that way. My gosh, I can't do that. Okay, let's group these. Select these, align center horizontally. They say if you see something done 3 times, you'll know how to do it. I'm going to ungroup, and I'm going to go over here in the layers panel, and I'm going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to select all of these blue ones, and I'm going to group those. Why did it? Okay, wait. Let's ungroup. We have to ungroup it all first. Okay. Now let me try this again. See if it works. No, it just grouped them all back. I have to ungroup each letter. Now I can do it. So I'm going to select the blue one, hold down the shift key. Then I can group just those. So I can pull those apart. And we cannot change the size of this now, otherwise these won't fit. So always remember that. And I am not close enough there. So I'm going to move this up a little, just so it barely overlaps. And because I moved it, I'm going to align center again. Oh no. Okay, we're going to group that. Now we can align center or center horizontally. There we go. And now I'm going to select them both, or all of them, and click Weld. There we go. We're going to zoom back out. And let's make this red. You know what? Let's make it a darker blue. And align it to the front. There we go. Okay. So raise your hand if you've learned something so far. No, it does not matter that the edge of the 2 is not all the way over. In my example, I don't even know if it was. It might have been. You can make it any way you want. I wasn't worried about it being all the way over. If I did, I could Well, I could change this and make it exactly 5.5, and then it would be all over to the edge if you want. Okay, so now I want to move these out of the way. Oh, I already welded that. So no, we're good there. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, so I'm not going to do this one. So I'm going to get rid of these. And was this one that fits this exactly? I think so. I'm just going to hide it. I like to hide things just in case. We don't need this, this, or this, because we made new ones. Now this is our template. This is just an extra one we can hide. Thank you, Jen. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here. It fits the template pretty well. I'm going to move these pieces here. Wait, we might need one. So it's the size of the card. So now what we have to do is we have to, oh yeah, I only need one of these for the front. You don't need it for the back. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to flip it vertical. Now this is where we got into trouble in the last one because the O's were not the correct size, or the zeros. Gertie girl, you are chatting in here. Explain why I keep the template. I just like to know what size it is. You could hide it or delete it or whatever you want. Wait, I like to have it to know that the card is the right size. And I'm not done making the card yet. So I'm going to select both of these blue pieces and I'm going to align. It doesn't matter if you align left or right. I'm just going to align left or right, and they're still both selected. So I'm going to weld. And they were not close enough because I still see a line there. So we're going to undo. Oh, did I hit the wrong button? I did. I hit attach instead of weld. We're going to weld it. There we go. Welcome, Pandora. Okay. So now I'm going to make sure. Let me zoom in a little more. Make sure this goes to the center. To do that, I'm going to put a score line. So I go to Shapes, Score Line. Hold down my Shift key while I turn this. And drag it across to that one. And to make sure it's in the center, I'm going to Align Center. I want to put this up here. I'm checking that it's at the top here and that it's at the center here. And I think that's pretty good. Now, we do have to attach that score line and bring this to the front, arrange to the front. Now, here's something else we can do to add another layer to it to make this easier. But first, let's take a few questions. Let me scroll back and see if I can get some questions before we go on to the next step, which is optional. It's all optional. Thank you, Pandora. That's so sweet of you. Welcome, Joy. Now remember, you can do any name as long as it's all in capitals. You could also do XOXO. You could add hearts to it. Oh, need to save again. Thanks for that reminder. I'm reading the chat. Somebody asked if there's a video for the difference of weld versus detach. I can show you that in this video when we're done with this part. Okay, I don't see any questions really. Did you attach a score line? I did. And please save. I did. Oh, that's a great question, Penny. Why do I hold the shift key when I turn? It's actually when I turn anything. So let me show you. I'm going to turn this box with the shift. I'm going to hold down the shift key and turn it. See how it kind of snaps into a place? And now I know it's perfectly vertical now. If I don't do that, this is what happens. I'm like this, and I'm trying to see if is that right? Like, I don't know if that's perfectly straight, and I don't think it is. It's just so it's not cockeyed. And I'm going to undo it so I know it's back. There. So that's why you hold down the shift key. It gives you points to stop at, so you know you can go vertical or horizontal perfectly. Where is Nightbot? You know what? Has Nightbot not been here? Oh, Nightbot's plugged into my son's channel. That's why it's not working. Thank you for saying that, because I need Nightbot for the giveaway. So I'm signing into Nightbot. Oh my gosh, so many buttons I have to click. Okay, now we're here. Sorry, and thank you. There, now I can see your chat even in Nightbot. Okay. Okay, so now another option to the card. Let me show you. Hold on, I can't see what you guys see. Okay, so this card, this is connected to this. See how this has another layer here? And it's connected to these letters, so you don't have to glue on each letter at a time, and it makes it easier. So we're going to try that now. And I'm going to duplicate one of these just in case I mess up. And I hit it right over here. And I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this. So I have a square. We're going to unlock it. Now I think I'm just going to have it reach up to the top and not have an opening there. I'm going to select these and align horizontally, center horizontally. So it's in the middle. Now what I can do, I think, let me zoom in. I'm zooming in because I want this. Oh, I'm going to have to ungroup this. I want the blue outer layer to weld with this yellow. So first thing I have to do is I have to ungroup. Oh, wait. No? Oh, no, I don't. I was thinking it was grouped to the one behind it. I'm going to line this up perfectly up to the score line where it should go. And I have that selected. I'm going to hold down my shift key so I can then select this yellow piece. And I'm going to weld. There. So now I have that. So now you will score and cut out this, and then you can just put this on it. Now these O's, the inside of the zeros, you will have to glue on separately. It won't be hard. Just, you could run it through a Xyron machine. Or just put a few pieces of glue there and put in the middle. But that will make it easier. Okay, I was just making sure. Before I say this, I wanted to make sure I could also do it the other way. So if I changed my mind and didn't want these, I could undo the weld and I could put, or if I do it another time, I could put another thing over here. We're going to save. So it didn't really take me long to do it, and I had to do it 3 times. When you do things like this on your own, it's how you learn to make anything you want. Is this the same size? Looks like it. We'll just hide it. Spray adhesive would probably work, but you don't really need it, I don't think. What was Catherine's question? How do you change a cut line to a score line? So let's say I wanted this box to score instead of cut. I would just select the box, go over here to line type, and change it to score. Now it's set to score. Or I could have it draw. Or I could have it engrave. When I change it back to cut, it always reverts back to its original color. You can do all of this on your iPad because the first card, I created this one on my iPad. It actually was a little bit easier because it locks into the size. So you can do it on your iPad. Let me see about questions. Pandora says she's confused because the blue area was bigger than the yellow template box. Oh, I think I know what you mean. So this is the template. We'll change this back to yellow. This is the finished size of the card, where this whole thing is the card. Let me show you. So this is the one I did of Alex. So this is the finished size of the card folded. But when it's out on the Cricut design space, it has to cut like this because it's going to cut it like this on the mat. Does that make sense? You can make Christmas cards like this. You could put Noel, you could put love, you could put names, anything you want. There's so much you can do. No, there are not written directions. You could on Weld now if you did not save. Yes, try it and test cut it on cheaper paper. How did I do the top piece on Alex? The same way I did it on this one. I did it the exact same way as what I did today in the video. He just has a different font. So like this font, instead of being hollow, it's just solid and goes into the center. But his is done the exact same way. How do you add a grad cap? Okay, that's what I was going to do. So we can go into images. Search graduation. Betsy says it's not connected to the bottom. It is all connected. So you could choose any of these things that you want to put on the card. You know what? I'll do a writing one. We'll get a graduation cap. And I have that. I'll select this one. So we'll bring them both in to see what we like. And then I want to do where do I find the sentiments? I'm going to click on draw. Okay. I could just draw all these things on there too. Let's do this So Happy for You. Welcome, Rebecca. Okay. We have this So Happy for You. These are all so big. I'm going to flip that. Yeah, I like that one best. So this piece would be in different, it's 4 different pieces you could glue together, or you could do print and cut if you want. So now this will not stay here on this letter until we attach it. So I'm going to select the writing. I'm going to hold down my shift key and then select the blue and attach. I don't know what you guys can see. Okay, let me move this up a little. It's a little paper clip. It says attach underneath it. So now this will draw on there. This move to the front. And you have a little graduation card. Okay, we can hide this template. We can save. Now, if you wanted to write on the inside of the card, have the Cricut write, what you need to do is get another box. Or let's unhide this one. And we'll hide another one just in case. I'm going to make it to the front. You can right click, send to front. And I'm going to size it. So then you could add writing to this and then put it on the inside of the card. Does that make sense? And these are connected here, somebody asked. There's just a score line in between, so they will fold. And I'm going to save. Let's go back to images. There was a saying I think I liked that I wanted to put in here. Now I don't remember. Let's just do this one. It says congratulations. Actually, I think I'm going to detach because I like this one here and this one here. I'm going to arrange to the front. I'm going to grab this guy, move him to the front. I'm going to turn it a little. There. I'm going to hold the shift key and that. Hold on. I'm going to move him out of the way because he'll disappear every time. Bring him to the front. There. Now this, I'm going to select this and I'm going to align center and attach. Okay, now somebody asked the difference of weld and attach. So I'm just going to do this real fast. I'm going to make them different colors. Okay, so if I were to attach these, it makes them all the same color, and I'm going to change the color so you can see it better. But you can see the cut lines. So this circle is going to cut out of the triangle. This triangle is also going to cut through that circle because that's where the line, you just can't see it right now because it's covered up. Triangle is going to cut through that star, and the star is going to cut through there, and you're going to have a lot of pieces. That's what attach does. Yay, we have 750 right now. We're going to do the giveaway next. So make sure you can chat. So I'm going to detach. So now it's back to like it was. I'll change these colors again just so you can see. Okay, so now we're going to select them and we're going to weld. Now there are no cut lines in between. So this will cut out the little part here, and it will only cut out this part where you see the black line. So this is weld, and attach, you still see the lines. Now, you also use attach on here. So I attach these. Let me detach. Now what happens if I take this and weld? Thank you, Ronald. Working but got a little break. I wanted to give you a little support. You are awesome. Ronald, you are awesome. So did I weld that? I don't remember. I must have. So now it just makes it disappear. Let me bring another shape out here. Okay, let me make this smaller. So if I were to attach this, it will cut out that triangle and you'll have a spot in the middle. If I were to weld it, it's going to completely disappear. Right, once you weld and save, you cannot unweld. That's why before you weld things, I suggest to duplicate and put it over here in the layers panel and hide it. Well, you don't put it there, it's already there. You find it in the layers panel and then you hide it. Okay. I think we're good. But first, let's click make it to make sure. Oh no, I'm not good. I didn't attach it to the piece. I did, but then we were playing with it. Let me go back. But this is how you check. Never be afraid to hit make it. Doesn't mean you have to make it. We're going to select those and attach. And now when we hit make it, it is attached here. So then this part you'd glue on the inside. And you might want to make it smaller so you can sign your name, that type of thing. I should do that, I think. Okay, so to change that, I have to detach. Let's make it a little smaller. And maybe up a little higher so that I can write a little message. But I want to align, not center, but center horizontally. So it'll be in the center this way. And then we have to attach. Flatten is kind of like welding, but it turns it to print. Anytime you, let me show you this. Let's duplicate this. Let's make it bigger just so you can see it better. Okay, if I attach this, it's going to change it all to one color, but it's still going to have cut lines, although you can't see them very well because of the color. I'm going to undo. It does have the cut lines for that circle. It had it for every single thing if I were to attach that. If I were to weld it, you just would not see any lines. It would just be the outside. If I flatten it, it keeps the color and will cut. It'll send it to your printer and then you put it back to Cricut and it will cut around the edges here only. It will not cut the inside piece. If you want to change colors, you'd have to unflatten. And let's just do that. And then you can flatten again and it will change the color of the flattened image. Okay, so I'm going to save again. Save often. Oh, how do you find new cartridges in Design Space? I do that every week and I haven't. Okay, this is the last thing that I'm going to do before the giveaway. So when you click on images, click on image sets. These are now your cartridges. Oh, these are cool. Teacher gifts. There's 86 of them. Pantry labels, farmhouse pantry labels. Ramadan, Eddie, I don't know what these are. There's 23. Oh, we got some more wings. 30 different angel wings. Poppies. Ramadan Mubarak. I'm probably not saying this right. Yes, all flattened images become print then cut. Oh, there's more. Graduation banner. Drawn laundry labels. I love social distancing. We had that last week. Thank you, Bobby. You're so cool. Okay. You guys are awful chatty today. Chatting in class. Isn't this the best class ever when you can chat with your friends in the class with you? If you're new to my channel, people come here about 45 minutes early to the class and start chatting with each other. It's always a lot of fun to come chat, make new friends. Some people have really become great friends over this. Okay, if you are hold on. Okay, Nightbot is going to randomly choose somebody to win the prize. Please say yes in the comments, and I'll give you a few minutes. And Nightbot is going to randomly pick a winner. And the word yes is you're answering if you're from the USA or from Canada, because that's the only places we can do it. So if you're from the USA or Canada, that's the only addresses we can send to. So I'll give you a few minutes. How many people are in this video? We have 788 on YouTube, 66 on Facebook, only one on Twitch. Okay, I guess I can't answer questions when you're all saying yes, right? My hair. I can't wait to get back to the salon. Can tell I cut the top a little. I really need my hair cut. It's nice and bright under here. Okay. Now there's 792 in video on YouTube. All right. Let's roll with it. We got a winner. So we can stop. Nightbot told us the winner. If you stop chatting and scroll up, you'll see who the winner is. I will show you too, though. Okay, and I have another question before I tell you who wins. Who thinks that they can now make a card like this? You can make it with a name. Like I did here. I did Alex. I did not glue. Weld these together with that. Okay. Yes, this is a great way to personalize cards, or I think it'd be great with the word love also, just to do, or a child's name. If the name is longer, let me show you this real fast. I'm going to take someone's name in the audience. The audience. I'm looking for, okay, Pandora. Now see, this name let me hide that, is so long, it's not going to fit well. What we could do is letter spacing. Or just make it smaller. Now, I would go through and put these at a better, like move the P over and put this at a, I just want to show you real quick some options that you have. So now I would make, let me duplicate this piece. I would have to make this piece, unlock it, and make it taller. And I would use the template to do that. So you would do the same thing, except for the letters. If it's longer this way, then they would be shorter. So you have more room to do it this way. Does that make sense? And you can choose another font. Let's choose another font just to, we're not going to go through everything. Did I put it on? Yeah, I did. I don't know if I took it off or put it on. You know what? I'm going to do Base Camp. This is what I did the Alex one in. Oh, you know what? I did it wrong. Varsity already makes it capital. Okay. Now this one has 3. Oh, I missed the A. Has to be capital. If you want to use 3. This is darker. Let me move it down so you can see it better. And we're going to unhide this. Try to use that as a little template. So I could make this, I think, a little bigger. So that this piece may be different than the size of, it depends on how many letters you have going across. So I think you can all do that. All right. Are we ready? Here, let me do this first. Alexa, can you give me a drum roll?
Okay.
Pug Mama. Pug Mama is the winner. Pug Mama, you need to email me at melodylanedesigns@gmail.com. Put in the chat. Do more advanced classes. I will. Just tell me what you want to learn. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for your $7 pledge. Oh, that's awesome. I have to read Pug Mama's comment. She says, OMG, I scrolled up and saw that I've won. I am so happy. My shipment has arrived. I am so happy. I've been staying with my mom for over a month now because she has a stroke. She had a stroke and surgery. She saw my mini press and fell in love. I'm so glad you won. I have some videos on knockouts, but they might be different knockouts than what you're thinking of. Okay, hopefully everybody learned something today, whether you're a newbie or not, or maybe reminded you, because everything I've done today has been in other videos. Maybe not just one specific video, But everything I taught, I teach so much in my hour classes. Sometimes they're 2 hours. Thank you, Expert Study, for subscribing to my channel. How do the pledges work? On Patreon, you can pledge a certain amount for a tier, and then you get something in return for that tier. For only $2, you get all of my Cricut Design Space files, and I will be adding this one to that also. But there's like, I stopped counting at 400. There's a lot of Design Space files. They're not SVGs. You click on them and they open up the file in Design Space. And you can just click go on most of them. Or like if you want to change the wording or something like that, you could. How do you slice a name instead of having to do each letter at a time? You weld it first. Weld the name first, and then you can slice it, because you can only slice 2 layers. So if your slice is not lit up, look in the layers panel. If you have something grouped or attached that are also dark or gray, it won't let you slice. If you have letters, say you have 5 letters and you want to slice it through a square, weld the letters first and then slice. Thank you, everybody. You guys are so sweet. Yes, you do hear Kobe snoring. I am planning on resting today. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to be resting the rest of today and tomorrow, so I might not be around on social media a lot. And today's the last day of the sale, the spring cleaning sale. You can get a Cricut Explorer Air 2 for $179.99. I am going to go back to bed and rest. Thank you. You guys are all so sweet. Okay, I should be back Tuesday. I lost my YouTube channel. Huh. Okay. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you all being here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. Thank you, Jeanette. When you sign up as Jeanette just did, you click the join button, and for only 99 cents, you get the special emojis. There's lots of emojis. You probably can't see these emojis if you're on Facebook, but they're there on YouTube. All right, guys, time to say goodbye. Love you. Oh, next week we're going to do Pinterest inspired, because we were supposed to do it this week, but I promised somebody I would show them how to make that card before I remembered that it's the last Saturday of the month. We always do Pinterest inspired. So we will do that next week. And whenever I do that, I share the files with you. So make sure you come and watch live next Saturday. If there's, I don't know what we will do yet. Maybe something for Mother's Day. Welcome, Scrap and Sherry. Toodles. That's what my son always says. All right. Bye, guys. How do you upgrade current membership? You click on the same thing, and I think you have the option to upgrade. I thought I said goodbye. I'm going to do it in the chat with my emoji. How do you get all of my files? It's patreon.com /Melody Lane. It's the link that there's links in the description also, but it's also the link during my shout outs. You see the link at the top. All right, bye guys. Again, how many times do I say goodbye? Put that in the comments if you're watching the replay. How many times did I wave goodbye and try to say goodbye, but I can't because I like to answer all your questions. Somebody's asking for the password. So there's 3 ways you can support on Facebook also. This is going to be a fun game, saying how many times I say goodbye. I don't know if these links will work, but for Patreon, Facebook, and YouTube. Welcome Debbie, Martin, and Rebecca Ricketts. 23 times. You guys are funny. How can I get individual help? What you can do is join my Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. Let me get a link. And you can get help from so many people. I answer questions in there all the time and help too. Nightbot shared the link for the glitter glue. Yeah, Jamie Leonard is great help in the groups. Okay, here's another goodbye. We'll see if it's the last one. Bye, guys. Love you. Good night, Gracie. You can watch this and rewatch it as many times as you like. Okay. Goodbye.